You are part of the outfit Kitterland.
I am indeed.
Can you tell us what and
we
who
are.
Kitterland are, please?
I can, absolutely. I'll tell the story historically, if that's okay. So Kitterland started as a music project, I guess, between myself and my good friend Tibor Miklos. I encountered Tibor playing some Moog synthesizers at a Mindful Man event. He was creating sort of drone music, and at the time I played a lot of used looping devices to play guitar and make looped guitar pieces. And I listened to Tibor, and it was great. It was really interesting, and I had that kind of like, I want to make this person my friend kind of reaction. So we got talking about music, and it turned out we had a lot of similar ideas, similar approaches. So we started, for want of a better word, just jamming together, which was plugging in all our devices. And I think the first time we got us syncing and in sync playing with each other, so the loops working with the arpeggiators from the synths and some beat generators. It was just great. It made this really exciting and interesting noise. And that's kind of where we started. And we weren't writing music, we were just playing music, creating music in the moment. So it's very ephemeral. It didn't last for much longer than the time that we would play it for. We weren't quite sure then what to do with it. But we realised it was quite cinematic, it was quite soundscape. And our first experiment was rescoring a silent film. And we actually did it here at the Erin Arts Centre. It was a couple of years ago now. And it was a Swedish film called The Pirates.
I remember.
And that was great.
So was that your first experience with incorporating visuals?
Yes, it was. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was our first test of doing it. When we were jamming, rehearsing, whatever the right language is for it, we would put films on a screen and just have them in the background whilst we were playing. And we talked about maybe using slides or photographs or any kind of visual component to add to the work. But we settled on kind of rescoring films and had a great joy doing it. It was really, really interesting, long form, durational kind of work.
Which presumably you don't actually know where it's going.
No,
I mean, you're embarking on a journey, and I guess it's going to finish because at some point the film will finish, but it's destination uncertain.
Absolutely, and I think it's more fun when you don't know the film particularly well either, so you're kind of reacting to it. So it's not, sometimes I have seen put before, proper live rescorings where people have written a new piece of music for a film, but this is much more reactive. And
that's a different thing, isn't it?
I think so, very much so, yeah.
Because I suppose if you know a piece of work really well, you're waiting for things to happen, and then even if you're doing it unconsciously, you're probably preparing things in your head that you might want to play or say or do.
Yeah, and in a way you kind of just you're, what's the word for it? I'm not quite kind of the right word, but complementing the film as it was intended. Ours is much more responsive and reactive, and sometimes we go up when the film goes down, or sometimes we go down when the film goes up, and I think that creates quite nice contrast of emotions and feelings.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but so from that point, we've got another good friend, Anthony Dalton, who's a filmmaker, and he's a big music fan as well, and we just got talking about working together. And Anthony actually was part of the screening at Erin Art here when we did the silent film, and he lit the stage and he created this really lovely atmosphere and space for us to kind of work with him. And we started making a film, inverted commas, a proper film, which is a combination of our live improvised music and then scenery and shots and views of the island that Anthony caught, and combined them together to create I'm really proud of it, but a piece that we called 2121.
Which you have showed here.
Indeed we have.
It debuted here,
We debuted it here, yeah, absolutely. And I was really pleased, so excited to do that, because again, when you make something but you're not quite sure what to do with it. I wasn't sure if it was an installation, I wasn't sure if it was something to be on, downloading that you can sit in your own space and watch. But showing it with an audience, durationally, so people experience it at the same time as others, worked really well, and I was so pleased with the results. And thanks for giving us that opportunity, because I think it was amazing.
I think you possibly answered this, but people who are going to come on Mananan Tuesday to catch you here, who may have seen or may not have seen 2021 or any of the other work, What can you expect from a Kitterland show?
Well, so we are going to live rescore a film. We are trying to pick a film that we feel is relevant to the time, because we're just reminding ourselves that on the 23rd of June, isn't it? I should get the date right.
25th of June.
Do beg your pardon, but it is the 25th of June. Tuesday.
I had to think about that one.
Exactly. Anyway, we're hoping it'll be a nice sunny Isle of Man day. And then we're trying to pick a film, and we're kind of thinking about some bleak Russian kind of sci-fi dystopian drama, which would have been great, but also if you've been outside in the bright sun and coming inside, it's a bit
great in mid-December.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do that again in December time. We're trying to pick something that is...
It'll be a Christmas film.
It'll be a Christmas Russian dystopian. Exactly. But picking a film that's kind of resonates to us as musicians and performers, resonates to Anthony as a filmmaker, resonates with the venue, but also hopefully the time as well. So we're getting close to picking that. And we won't practice it particularly, we will be improvising it. We put the subtitles up so you can actually understand what the film is doing, and I use the subtitles to just pick words out to sing and create lyrics in the moment, because they're all from the subtitles.
I was going to say, and react to those subtitles.
Absolutely.
Presumably.
Yes, indeed, yeah, that kind of creates another reaction as well. It's that David Bowie quote, and I'm not for a minute comparing anything that I've ever made ever remotely in the capacity, but it's just a really interesting quote, which is like, when you stand in water that's up to your ankles, it's really boring, and when you stand in water that's above your head, it's dangerous and not a good thing for anyone. But when you're in the water that's just underneath your armpits and it lifts you up and down in the sea, that's the exciting space. Just that kind of touch the floor, and then into the kind of uncertainty. And I guess that's where I want to try and put our music, or me as a maker, that's where I want to be.
So Joff and Kitterland will be performing here Mananan Tuesday on the 25th of June. Get yourselves a ticket.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.